I am Kenji of the Serpent Clan, and my ancestor broke the world. The Horde was destroying everything in its path, so he gathered the clan and fled south, saving what little he could. He didn't know that the Horde would be only the first of many enemies to plague the Serpent Clan. He couldn't know that without the orb's power to guide them, his descendants would be weak and wicked. Did he ever truly have a choice?
Run! Shinja's men are coming!
You're no villager. Kill your share of peasants and I'll find you a place in Shinja's band. Yeah!
Okay, hello. This is a stream/recording of the campaign of Battle Realms. I am a Normalism. After I'm done streaming just for practice in case I want to stream more in the future, I'm going to chop out anything terrible that went on and upload it on the channel properly edited. Doing this because someone requested that I play through the Dragon campaign, and I decided, sure, sounds good. Recorded one video and went, nah, I'm just going to stream it straight, and then I'll just cut it wherever I cut it. So looking to do this about 3.5 hours. Don't know if I'll make it a weekly thing, but if I do, I'll be sure to keep passing it on. But on with the video. I hadn't yet decided what I would do once I had returned, but circumstances had conspired to force a choice upon me. Should I protect these helpless villagers by attacking the bandits, or should I help the bandits keep these peasants in their place? No doubt my actions here will dictate the future of the land. So fun little fact, you literally
Left-click me to select me.
start at a crossroads.
After I am selected,
Yeah.
right-click on the
I don't have
ground
to
and I
click.
will move.
These are burning buildings chug my
Alternatively,
PC, and I'm not sure
right-click on
why.
an enemy,
Watch this.
and I
just-
will attack.
Oh.
Left-click something else if you want to deselect me.
Try and save as many peasants as possible, but it's really hard to.
Charge!
Oh, finish them off.
Face your master!
And fun fact, if you do nothing in this mission, you join the Serpent Clan. So it was requested that I play the Dragon Clan in this instance, which means killing all the Serpent Warriors, and helping the peasants out. You see, the peasants are getting absolutely wrecked over there. Somehow I feel like it used to be different once upon a time, but who knows. More peasants coming in. I feel like you could finish this with a few peasants surviving still, and they seem to be doing alright over there.
Forward!
Alright,
Face your master!
yeah, this looks a fair bit more optimal. Well, no, okay, only 2 survivors, and that one's hobbling away. This is the beginning of something new, something good. I went against my upbringing and attacked the bandits to protect the peasants. I've started something here, and must finish the job. I must kill all attacking bandits and save the village, and not lose my life doing so. Well, that...
Blood and honor!
hope that would go without saying, but sure.
For the clan!
Use it on the crossbow.
Charge!
And then duel to the death. There's a lot of little fun things that you can really appreciate in the game once you know the full story in these first couple of missions. And I'll try and point them out if I can remember what they are and the points in them. Also, if I stumble on words or and ah throughout this, please remember and give me a number of them. Trying to break that habit.
Kenji, we thought you were dead.
It's been a long time, Atomo.
I've waited 7 years to serve you, Lord Oja.
Don't call me that.
Murderer!
He saved our lives.
He killed his own father! Look! It's Kenji!
He doesn't speak for the village. The Serpent's son will take tea in my house.
The bandits work for Shinja?
He rules the provinces to the north, and would rule this one too if he could. He seeks to rebuild the clan, but his methods are questionable.
Shinja served my father loyally for years.
He's tasted power, and won't give it up easily. But Shinja only rules because no one else will stand against the other clans. Wolf and Lotus are tearing what's left of your father's empire apart.
I'm going to need Shinja.
Then you'll have to beat him. Shinja rules 2 provinces from an old serpent fort here, while his hired archers haunt the eastern road, stealing what little remains. Break Shinja's forces, and he'll lose his will to fight. We have no soldiers, but the villagers stand ready to serve. What shall we do?
So we're going to go with this mission on the left. If you go with the mission on the right first, the mission on the left becomes much harder. Do the mission on the left first, the mission on the right is about as difficult.
This province is already claimed. Go before I kill you!
Atomo was right. Shinja intends to put up a fight. If I destroy his keep and confront him, he should listen to reason. I am the heir to the Serpent Empire, after all. My new clan lacks leadership, though, and will certainly crumble if I were to die.
Over there.
Clan. 3 people. I do like the story being presented here of Kenji
I move.
forming something new from something old. And these two together are beastly. Very good warriors in their own regard, but then the damage buff of Atomo and the critical strike of Kenji. Very good stuff. Yeah, it worked. I was wondering if I could hotkey buildings like that. Let's do a couple.
Yes, sir. Right.
Now the reason I'm doing this is because peasants generate faster, the more
Alright.
peasant huts you have.
Yes.
There's a sort of a critical mass at 5.
Yes, sir. Right.
Should need 1 person on water, and basically the rest of our peasants can go straight onto food.
All right.
I'm not going to be too heavy on the tutorial aspect of things, but I'll explain a couple of things as they happen. For example, this just chooses where your peasant huts come out from. You see all these ones are already blocked off, so peasants can't come from there. We only want them coming out of 1 peasant hut. It allows us to control the flow of traffic, so to speak. Nice. There's our first Yang point. We'll be spending that on upgrades. Probably not that actual point, but you know.
Yes.
I'd like to explain in detail some of my thoughts on the game as we go, but it's hard to sort of collate them as you're playing. Otherwise it can end up sounding very scattered and unfocused, which is something I have a lot of trouble with usually. Is voicing myself without rambling.
Right.
And umming and ahhing as well, that's another big one.
Yes.
I'm going to start training some spearmen. Now once this guy's dropped off his rice, he can water the rice
I
fields,
follow
and
the
then
dragon.
that's basically it. We're just going to train spearmen and go win. So that's the first mission basically over at this point. It's just about hitting a critical mass of spearmen and then rushing through. One of the gripes I've always had about this game, as much as I love it, is that there is no reason to expand. Like over here is a nice place. You could theoretically start there at the start of this mission. Build a peasant hut right here on the edge of the water, rice from both sides, another peasant hut, you know. Or you could expand out there at this point, but ultimately it would reward you with nothing. Which sort of... it's a little bit of a downside. A lot of RTS games that I admire these days are ones that
Dragon strikes.
force really proactive, energetic kind of play, where you have to really strategize and build cleverly as you go. Battle Realms, unfortunately, doesn't do that. It encourages building one base and fortifying that one base. Your towers only have so much coverage and you can only build so many of them. So you need to build a very dense sort of defensive area. Alright, come on. So we're gonna march out to start destroying things. There's a tower here. I could have done it earlier with less people, but I like the numbers. And now we pop Tomo's shout, giving a damage buff. Kenji, if you could, yep, Kenji, if you could deal with this. Bam. Oh, back into it. Unfortunately, with my current army, buildings take forever to destroy. Damage buff. Look at that. Such a cool effect. One of the things neat about this mission that you never see again is Shinja has both dragon and serpent warriors. And I wonder if that's I'm having a hard time clicking. I wonder why there were no more missions where the enemy has two different bases like that. Maybe they do.
Yes, sir.
You can just wait. Maybe there are other missions where enemies have multiple bases, but it never felt like it. Just getting a spearman damage upgrade there. Another shout from Tomo. Yeah, spearman damage upgrade so they can destroy these buildings a little faster. I think these are the techniques. Tomo, you chill. Setting a Tomo to passive mode. He won't attack unless he's attacked.
Yes.
It's important to know the difference between stand ground and passive mode. In passive mode, they will not attack unless they are attacked, at which point they will chase the enemy. But in stand ground mode, they will stay still and not move, but they will use their ranged weapons. So if you're trying to heal troops by having them stand still, passive stance keeps them from keeps them from using their range attack, whereas stand ground keeps them from chasing enemies. See, we're just going to destroy all these clans, attack all these innocent peasants who are just doing Shinja's work. Can't really blame them at all, but we're going to kill them all the same. Oh, damn it. Give me that technique.
Yes, sir.
Spearmen have more health. That's what I like to see. It's almost unfortunate that Battle Realms came out at the time it did. Battle Realms came out before Warcraft 3 really codified how heroes should work. And it wasn't the only game that had heroes before Warcraft 3. There were lots of them. There was Warlords Battlecry that did pretty good. Lords of EverQuest. Oh, that's a really sort of... That's a title you've probably never heard of. But yes, EverQuest had an RTS game with heroes. So it's kind of rough for a lot of these games that came out after Warcraft 3, because you get that comparison in hindsight. Where you go, well, Warcraft 3 did it really well. They had tough heroes, but they didn't start completely overpowered. They sort of grew into it by fighting.
I move.
It was a really great way to design the game. So Battle Realms is one of those unfortunate titles that came in late to the party. And this is the particular part of the map that I chose this one for. If you come to this map second, if you fight the bandit archers first, then in this map, those dragon warriors are riding horses, and they have the trample effect, which absolutely destroys your army. So we're just going to ignore these peasants. They've done their job. Going to ignore them. Half of you go up there. You can polish these guys off. I'm going to fight a couple of these guys. But our goal primarily here is not the peasants, but the castle, the keep. Feels like it's dying very quickly compared to how the tower died. I mean, maybe it's because I have more soldiers, but it feels like it's dying really quickly. We don't need to hurt any peasants.
Shinja.
Rally to me!
After him!
What shall we do?
I have business with Shinja.
Shinja has always had a talent for escape, but we've cornered him now. That snake doesn't have anywhere else to run. If we defeat him in battle, I can surely sway him to our cause. I must survive if we're to enlist his aid. I would assume so, but
Yes.
thank you for clarifying, Kenji.
Over there.
Alright. God, there's a couple of archers hiding in these trees at the start.
All right.
So in this mission, we finally get 2 military buildings, so we can finally start building the more unique unit types. Although I almost feel like it's a waste how they've designed the maps.
Yes, sir.
Here's me upping
Yes.
and ahhing again. I think it would have been cool
Yes,
if
sir.
there had been one map where you have a dojo and an archery range, and one map where you have a dojo and the alchemist hut, to sort of introduce the premise of mixing units
Yes.
better. Because then a player could see, okay, a spearman plus an archery range becomes a dragon warrior, but a spearman plus an alchemist becomes a kabuki warrior. It would have really set the stage for later games, later gameplay, where you do have all 3 buildings and you can mix and match what goes into what. Unfortunately, they just sort of dump it on you at some point.
I follow.
It also means any sort of tutorial segment of this game is
Yes, sir.
less introductory in that regard. I mean, the first level you just build spears, which in a game like Warcraft or Age of Empires or StarCraft, you know,
I follow
where you
the
have
dragon. Yes, sir.
specific units,
Yes.
it's a bit more acceptable in those games to just build one of a unit, because you are building one of a unit. But in this game, the whole point is being able to mix units together and get unique outcomes and to play their strengths against the enemies.
I follow the
The
dragon.
first couple of levels, you know, it doesn't
Yes, sir.
shine until this level. So the first level you are just
I
sort of
follow
building
the
spearmen.
dragon.
But I suppose back then RTS games weren't nearly as big,
Yes.
so if you were just a first time RTS player, it was a good introduction.
All right.
Generally speaking, economy in this game, you want to have as many peasants on
Right.
food, on resource gathering as possible, and then as few peasants on resource gathering as possible. It's sort of an ebb and flow back and forth. Oh, I wasted that. Go again. Bam! Next one. Bam! One more. Does he have enough stamina? Bam! No. Make them come to you.
I'm going.
Let's get 2 more archers. You don't
Of
always get this
course.
opportunity to build up your
On
forces,
it.
though, in later games. Later levels, sorry.
All right.
One more peasant hut right there.
Yes.
Again, you need 5 peasant huts, or is it 6? I think it might actually be 6 peasant huts to reach maximum capacity of peasant production. But we're not too worried about that. This is only the tutorial levels. It'll be relevant later on in later missions where we're facing overwhelming numbers of enemies and we've got to push out and build up an army constantly. But at this point, it's not a big deal. Sorry, to explain my point before, the reason you want all your peasants or none of your peasants on resources is because you can bank up a lot of resources that you see. I can have up to 900 rice and 450 water. And that only increases as the game goes on and you get your town hall, town center, wolf ball court, and you keep.
Over there.
Those buildings really amplify that amount of resources you can sort of stock.
I'm going. Yes, sir.
Water the rice fields, see if
follow
we
the
can't get
dragon.
them growing a little faster.
I follow your lead.
And once you have a massive stock of resources, you no longer actually need... I'm gonna build this in the back. Purely for upgrades. So I can constantly be producing units.
It shall be.
Once you have that massive stock of resources banked up, you don't need peasants farming on resources. You just send them to become your military and try and overwhelm the enemy.
Yes.
And if that fails, then you go back to using resources.
Right. I'm going.
So the first thing we're going to do is get archers more damage. Archers are amazing for dragon. They are absolutely devastating. They do one of the most ranged damages in the game, especially once you have this upgrade. So why would you want anything else? And then you can get their increased range, which makes them even better. So I'll wait until we've got this third dragon warrior.
Yes, sir. I follow the
Yeah,
dragon.
get another dragon warrior to defend. And I could build a tower this mission, but it's kind of overkill.
Over there.
Yeah, I'll wait until I've got this third dragon warrior, and then I'll start moving out. One fun thing about being able to choose where your peasants come out of, there's a lot of enemies. You can actually do this. And now it'll alternate between peasant huts. So that one's coming out next, so he'll be sent to the dojo to become a dragon warrior. And then the one that comes after that will be sent to the archery range to become an archer. You can automate that, and that is very useful. Really an unsung hero of this game. Very creative design decision. Something that you just don't think about and don't focus on, but as a kid that was definitely how I played the game. I was definitely like, yeah, this one will go there, and then loop around there, and then I'll have a second building that goes just to one building. Just waiting for this guy to heal up a little bit to green, and then we'll move back on. There we go. Alright, let's get into this. I like how the decals on the swords get bloodied as they fight. Atomo and Kenji's sword, quite a mess down there. Through the trees.
Agreed.
Face your master!
So just over to the right there is a building, and we're going to tear it to pieces.
Over there.
Might fight a couple of units, but nothing special.
Forward.
Swordsman, he's just running by. Arrows getting caught on the trees.
The wind is against you.
That's a mechanic I kind of like, is destructible trees. There's a map where you have a big rice patch in the corner that my brother and I played 2 against 6 against the AI.
Agreed.
And we both played Serpent.
Blood and honor!
And what I started to do was run down to the corners. So we ran down to the corner of the map where there was a big rice field, water and everything, and built together. But there was trees all along the outside. The enemy would constantly try and ambush you from there. So what I ended up doing was running raiders out there to burn down the trees with their special ability. Just so I didn't have to deal with that. Which is something you don't do in a lot of games. A lot of Battle Realms matches, you don't use that ability. So here we should be able to ignore most of everything. I don't think there's many military units, but there is Shinja's tower. It's immediately going to put a blind effect on us that we're just going to right click to ignore.
Forward.
Hey Shinja. It'd be cool if Shinja had a range attack so he didn't actually get stuck in the tower. But here we go. Deploy the damage buff, and this is going to be cleaned up before you know it. Didn't even get my range. Great. Let's go Damage upgrade again. Put Kenji's critical strike on for when Shinja drops down to the
Face
tower.
your master!
Bam! And again. Bam! There we go. Let's go and attack the peasants, guys.
It's over.
Of course.
You know who I am.
Kenji, Serpent's son.
And yet you kept fighting.
Once I knew a scared boy who ran from his accusers, I had to know if he was still that boy. Are you back to rule the Serpent Clan?
Where is the Serpent's Orb?
Going to break the world, then?
Show respect.
As you wish, Otomo.
You were charged with protecting the orb. Where is it?
At the Swan's Pool. The old man was more perceptive than we thought. He knew Serpent Home would fall.
Lord Oja would never have given the orb to Geisha.
No, he would have. How has the Swan's Pool survived?
The Geisha are still considered untouchable. 7 years in the grave have weakened your father's grip, but the Wolf and Lotus still fear his name.
Show me the safest path.
As I serve the father, so I'll serve the son. The Wolf clan has moved in here, driving the original farmers out. The stench of their shanties wafts south when the weather's clear. As in your father's time, the Wolf barbarians are woefully unprepared to face a battle-ready foe. Still, the Wolf are always spoiling for a fight. The Lotus clan's lands are far to the east, but they have built an outpost here. One of their vile wizards has enslaved the local peasants with his dark magics. The villagers know the land well and would be valuable allies. The most direct route leads through the center of Riverside Town. The locals survive by trading with both Lotus and Wolf, so we're sure to be noticed.
So this is a very interesting choice, for multiple reasons that aren't actually explained in the game. Now first, if we go to the left and fight the Wolf Clan, we will get later on in the game a hero called Ara to help us. Same again, if we go through Riverside, we have to face, we get the ally in Garen, I believe he's called, Horse Lord. He can summon horses and calls horses to his aid. But if you go to the Lotus side, you don't actually get any hero at this time. And that's actually the choice we're going to take because it's very interesting. So meanwhile, we're going to go do that because, you know what, it sounds very evil. And while we're playing this level, we're going to unpack a couple of things of what Shinja just said.
My uncle lived in this village.
Who has done this?
The Lotus clan.
Then the Lotus has an enemy.
If we hurry, we might take them unprepared.
Shinja isn't wrong here. The Lotus, I've never trusted them, and it seems my suspicions were well founded. If we're to free this province, we'll need to defeat the Master Warlock who controls the locals. The Geisha trust me, so I must be on guard if we're to reclaim the orb. Okay, so we're going to ignore this starting location. It's absolutely awful, and we're going to run up here.
Yes. All right. Yes.
Like, this is truly abysmal. You've got rice, but no water. Can't even build a well, so you'd have to go somewhere else for water. So we're just going to run up here, build a peasant hut.
Follow the dragon.
Oh, I need some
Yes,
rice.
sir.
Okay, get some rice
Right.
first.
Yes.
That would have been embarrassing.
I follow the dragon.
Over there.
No, it is embarrassing. I
Yes,
thought I was
sir.
going to be in for a fight. Well, we can continue on. Just up here, I believe there's some peasants you can sort of semi-recruit to your side.
Going.
So there was a lot to unpack in what Shinja said.
Yes.
And in many ways, Shinja
Over
isn't
there.
wrong in anything he said or did back there.
Charge!
Okay, take that tower. Good luck, guys. Alright, that's enough. Peasant hut.
All right.
Alright, team. Time to move out.
Yes, sir.
So I believe if you destroy this tower, or maybe a couple other things around here, you get all these peasant huts, which is obviously amazing. Instant peasant production.
Yes. I follow the dragon. Yes.
You'll find a lot of maps come down to,
Yes.
where is my supply of water?
Yes, sir.
They're not very good at fighting, but at least they're producing me yin and yang. So Shinja was right, okay? Yeah, there we go. All the peasant huts are now mine. So that's basically all the peasant huts I need.
I follow the dragon.
Cool, isn't it? So Shinja was right. Shinja was serving Oda, who Kenji killed. Make no mistakes,
Yes,
Kenji
sir.
killed Oda. As far as we know. And then Kenji ran away. Shinja has opposed Kenji because no one else in the area, in the clan, was able to lead after Kenji left. Their leader was dead. Atomo supports these peasants, but let's face it, he was losing to Shinja. So Shinja was the only powerhouse capable of leading at that time. And not only that, Oda trusted Shinja to lead, to guard the
Alright.
Serpent's Orb.
Yes.
As he said, my father tasked you with guarding the Serpent's Orb, and all that.
I follow the dragon.
So Shinja was clearly the one who was meant to be in charge once Oda went. And now that Kenji's back, Shinja can't be certain if Kenji is actually capable of leading at all. Because how could you know? He left. He was gone. So the entire discussion between the two sides is actually very interesting in that regard.
Certainly.
Where Shinja is questioning Kenji if he'll be a good leader, at which point Atomo says, you know, show respect, he's the Serpent's son. And Shinja goes, yeah, okay, I guess I have to, I've lost. Which is not actually,
Focused and steady.
per se a good argument
Yes.
for Atomo.
I'm going.
Because Atomo is basically saying, he's king,
Yes.
you should respect him. But as far as any of them know, he killed his own father. Atomo apparently doesn't believe that. But it still seems to strongly indicate... There's some horses down there. We don't need horses today. Might go fetch some from over there. Got the stables here. Atomo's not necessarily right, is the main point I was getting
Yes.
across. He comes across almost as naive, which is suitable,
I follow the dragon.
but it does feel a bit
Yes.
weak compared to Shinja's
Alright.
staunch distrust.
I follow the dragon.
And granted, Shinja
Yes.
later shows his hand in ambition. But, and if you play the Serpent campaign, you get to see more interesting things from Shinja. I just always feel that it's worth pointing out that Shinja, while portrayed as potentially arrogant and
I follow
not
the
a good
dragon.
guy, is actually more in the right at this point than other people are, than Atomo is. And even Kenji
Yes, sir.
doesn't really have an answer for Shinja. If anything, all he says is, you know, I want the Serpent's Orb,
Right.
and he wants that Serpent's Orb for who knows what reason. It's not explained. And even to the viewer, interestingly, it's not explained, which I think is a very bold choice, so to speak. That they don't
With
tell
bow
you
in hand.
that kind of information. Oh, come on, guys, it's just a peasant. Okay, kill him. Bam. Be free, horse. Be free to join my clan. Here comes a serpent attack. Yeah, here they come. A lotus, sorry.
Over there.
And again, what's interesting is, since the Oja died, the clan has fallen to pieces. The Lotus are
Yes.
basically coming in now and starting to take over.
I follow the dragon. Yes.
So, that's not good.
I'm going.
I know Kenji could take that by himself pretty handily. Splat. We'll check out Dragon Warriors on horses because they don't have abilities, whereas Otomo and Kenji have amazing abilities. Shinja also, just not quite as awesome as Kenji or Otomo.
I follow the dragon. It shall be.
Charge!
Well, this is going to be a slaughter. Gross. Oh well. Shinja lost his horse. But now we can get the damage upgrade for archers. And I think it is time to start moving out.
Forward.
Yes.
I follow your lead.
Alright, let's get going.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Gotta admit, my hotkey
Focused
spam
and
is
steady.
not what it used to be. Once upon a time, I could spam like the
Yes.
best of them. I had an impressive APM of 80. Which, ironically, I know it sounds like I'm downplaying that, but 80 APM is not that bad. I know you get world-class pro players who have like 200 to 300 APM in
I
games.
follow the dragon.
But when you're an average Joe, 80 APM is actually quite a lot.
I have focus. Certainly.
Blood and honor!
That's just a
I
peasant,
have
guys. Come on.
focus.
Agreed.
Do we gotta kill everything?
Yes.
Focused and
Yes.
steady.
Yes, we do. Dramatic music stops.
I move.
So we've snuck through the trees because there's a lot of lotus buildings. Don't know why I keep calling them serpent. They're all just the same to me.
Over
There's a lot of lotus buildings down
Certainly.
that way, and we don't want to go deal with that.
Yes.
We just want to rush straight for the victory
I
condition.
have focus.
Partly because I don't
I
want to waste my
walk your
life on
path.
things that are mostly inconsequential, and partly
With bow in
because
hand.
I just
On
want to get on with
target.
the story.
Over there.
I love this story so much, and I want to play it, I want to see it, and I don't see a good reason to go through the chore of killing absolutely everything. Okay, lure him up here. Don't fight at the tower.
Certainly.
That's it. See them using their ranged attacks. There's the Warlock Tower.
For the clan!
So there he is, the big boy himself. Drop all my debuffs, Archer's fire. There's no real weakness, but Kenji has critical strike. If he lands the blow. No. The Leaf Disciple got wrecked.
I didn't want this.
Every death here today saved two. No one could ask for more.
This land never changes.
I'll give the wolf miners this much. They know how to run.
They've had a lot of practice. If it's not us driving them to the ground, it's their warlock masters.
We have Father to thank for that. They serve the Lotus, and the Lotus serve us.
For now.
The Oja are the only family fit to serve as lords of this land. The Serpent clan will rule long after Father's gone.
You mean you'll rule?
Of course. I'm the firstborn son. Besides, you spend every free moment carousing with commoners in back alley wine shops. You've no stomach for war.
Not the way Father fights it.
Yes, always winning is such a burden.
There must be a better way.
They fight because they fear the Serpent clan.
I'm not my father, Otomo.
There are worse men you could be.
Not many.
did you kill him?
Does it matter?
Not to me.
All of us fighting together. It's just like old times, eh? Our scouts report that the traitors have abandoned Riverside rather than face you. I've taken the liberty of sending some men to occupy the town. The wolf squatters to the west are staying put, but a little steel and fire should put an end to...
No.
But we have them by the throat!
If we push on, we can reach the Swan's Pool by dusk.
Curse him! With the army he's mustered, we could secure the lowlands and rebuild the Serpent Clan. What does he want with the orb anyway?
You know the legends.
Rumors, gossip. I used to stare at that thing for hours, searching for some spark of power. It's just a pretty stone. He's insane.
He's all we have.
The Swan's Pool is here, along the northern road.
Why did you drag my screen all the way over to the left? My mouse wasn't anywhere near there. Our enemies have come for Serpent's Orb. How did they know it was here? Regardless, we must protect the Geisha's home at all costs, if we're to earn their trust and claim the orb. So again, in that previous cinematic, I think it's very worth noting that Shinja is right. They could secure the southern lands, and have a complete foundation to build their clan out of those lands. Straight through a river, they're wealthy. There's lots of peasants still loyal to the Serpent Clan, whereas Kenji's insistence on pushing up is very illogical to a man like Shinja. Meanwhile, Otomo is just a passive little baby whose response to, do you trust this guy, or do you think I killed my father, is, So let's get on with this mission.
Yes.
We need to run up here.
What's going on here? Get away from her!
For the clan!
Protect the geisha! And it's Kazan! The real bro. Easy.
We thought you dead, Honorable Prince. Look, there! More are on the way. They come seeking the orb.
So we're gonna hastily divide our warriors up. What do we get over there? Chi shield? I don't believe that's actually all that valuable. Divide the geishas up. Gonna put Kazan with Kenji. We'll put Shinja and a dragon warrior, and we'll put a geisha to each side. So you got team 3, team 1 with Kenji, team 2 with Otomo. Kenji, over we come. Team 3? You guys can be team 2. Oh god. Okay, maybe... Yeah, there it is. Back from the other side. Get over here. Somebody get that guy off the geisha. Thank you. Somebody protect the other geisha. Damn it, lost one geisha. Okay, well that's acceptable. This is an unironically kind of difficult mission early on in the game. Oh god! Really? Okay, team 2, you need to get the hell up here. Geisha, come stand on the side. Considering I've already lost a geisha, that's pretty bad. This is a pretty nice place though.
Lead the way.
Of course.
As you command.
I walk your path. I am the dark.
It can't be.
Over there.
Oops. Oh
have
god, I had two
focused,
archers the entire time.
On target.
I was like, I thought I had more units than this. I thought you had more in this mission.
Focused and
Yeah, two
steady.
archers. It's fine. Like Shinja throwing his swords there. Cha. Go again. Wacha. Shinja's so cool.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna send you guys to 3, you guys to 2, and everyone else is a 1. Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. This is how I normally have my hotkey set up. It's geishas in the back to be protected, archers to be microed, and melee guys to activate abilities. Let him come to you. Tomo, right side. Shinja, you need to engage that. Longtooth! My buddy! Archers, get up here. Please heal yourself, Geisha. Tomo's getting wrecked right now. Yeah, don't focus on the big enemies. Oh boy, everyone's getting wrecked.
Enter the storm.
It's okay there, Shinja. Archer's drawn into the fray. Longtooth is almost down. Tomo's holding just fine on his own, to be honest. My geishas are also doing pretty well. Shinja does need some assistance though. Can you come down here and heal him? Alright, Shinja, back into the fray. That was a geisha getting attacked. Again, this is kind of a tough mission when it comes into the game. Admittedly, I made my life a bit harder on accident, but look how low that got. I remember this was the first time my brother really had to... Because my brother beat this game, I was not very good. But I remember this was the first time my brother kind of had to strategize it all. What a great mission. Just that anarchy of fighting. And Longtooth shows up. Longtooth. I think I'm actually going to take the chance to crop my video after this. Stop
We are
recording.
in your debt, Lord Dragon.
The thief? Why was he here?
Thief?
I've never seen anyone move like that.
I have. Did he get the serpent's orb?
No, it's where it's always been.
I've no time for riddles, woman.
It's in Serpent Home.
Impossible. The Lotus clan tore Serpent Home apart stone by stone, searching for the orb.
And once they'd finished their filthy business, I hid the orb in the courtyard pool. Only the wisest turn over the same stone twice.
Kenji! Kenji! A message from Riverside.
The Wolf Clan is amassing their army to the southwest. They're rallying at their camp. We must attack, or they'll sweep through the lowlands.
No. We'll go to Serpent Hole. I've no quarrel with the other clans.
If the enemy can't hurt you, they'll hurt your people.
You've seen the orb. It's real.
It's a stone, Kenji. The peasants fought for you, not the orb.
He's right, Lord. If we abandon the villagers, they'll die. Only the geisha know where it is. Bring them with us, and the orb stays safe.
If it's to be done, let's do it quickly. Let's teach this upstart clan a lesson.